obviously you've had a tremendous season. You won the Haskins. Just kind of walk me through, beginning in the fall, how the 1920 season went for you.
Yeah, obviously I knew it was going to be kind of tricky at the first getting used to college golf again because I was away from it for, literally a year and 3 months there.
Yeah,
So like just getting back into it, it's so much different than the individual tournaments I played over the summer there. So I was just really pumped that I was going to be back with my teammates who were my best friends and like a family. So um, at the same time, I also knew that it was really important because I didn't have many tournaments played um, in the last year and a half, pretty much, and I knew pretty much my stock when I turned professional was going to depend on how I play pretty much through that college year. So
yeah,
it was a little bit pressure added in that regard, but when I actually got to play in the tournaments, I didn't think about that at all, which was great. I mean, I was just enjoying it so much, and
yeah,
um, but yeah, it was a long way coming because I had to kind of revamp my swing because of
hmm
the injury, which worked out because it took stress off a couple parts of my body, my wrist and my back especially, and in turn, it actually made my swing a little bit better, and I hit the ball better than I ever have. Really, my
yeah.
tempo's a little bit smoother. Even if I lost a little bit of speed, I didn't lose much yardage, if any, and I was much more consistent. So I knew going into the season that my physical part of my body is as good as it's been pretty much all throughout college because I had that extended period of rest.
Yeah.
So I was super pumped to start the season for sure.
Was there any point in that recovery process where you wanted to just, call it quits, or were you having trouble getting through that a little bit?
At first it was brutal because I've never gone that long without playing golf for any
Mhm.
reason. So mentally at first it was just like, come on, I can't play the thing that I love, and even when I'm not playing golf, I usually like to do other like play basketball stuff like that, and I couldn't do any of that with the wrist injury. So
Yeah.
it took away a lot at that time, but I don't think at any point I ever wanted to just kind of give up. I knew that long term, that was the whole point of uh, taking the redshirt year. Obviously, I needed the surgery, but
Yeah.
was thinking about long term. And I think with that in mind the whole time, and then I've said this also, I gained a new perspective during my rehab time where it really helped me take my mind away from golf a little bit.
hmm
I just realized that, I had so many great family and friends, and my parents supported me so much that I had so many people around me that, regardless of whether I'm playing great on the golf course or not, the rest of my life was in pretty good shape with the people around me. So that gave
Yeah.
me a good perspective when I came back into golf, and that was a little bit of why I think I grinded a little bit extra on the rehab and really wanted to make sure my body was in shape when I got back to playing.
That's great. Um, you know, after you come back, was obviously you're rusty. I mean, you take a
Yeah.
year off
Oh
of
yeah.
anything, you're gonna be rusty.
Yeah.
But was there a certain point when you were coming back that you felt my game has either improved, or I've turned a corner on something, or anything like that?
Yeah. So one thing through the rehab process, I was actually able to start chipping and putting maybe 3 months after surgery, so it wasn't too far, too far removed from the surgery. I
Yeah.
think I started hitting balls maybe 5.5 months after. So I
Mhm.
got the surgery in January, started hitting balls sometime in May, late May. And then, as you said, I was super rusty, and but I still wanted to play tournaments pretty quickly, just so I could get through the process a little bit quicker, get a couple of rusty events out of the way. So
Yeah. It's that mama
um,
mentality.
exactly, mom mentality, yes sir. Exactly. I just wanted to get back out quick as possible, but also obviously not being stupid. So the
Right.
first couple tournaments were tough. My short game was actually good because I was able to practice it for I was able to practice. I had 3 months of practice before, but my ball striking was terrible first couple events, and I had a really good finish at Sahali. I came in second to Joe, and I still didn't feel like my game was there. I didn't hit the ball great. Again, my putting and short game saved me there, but
Right.
the tournament that really turned around for me was the SCGAM. It was at Lakeside Golf Course, a course that I really like, and
Hmm.
it's really close to home, close to school. And that was when I think I literally swung at the best ever. My rhythm was just so keyed in, and felt it was so little stress because, funny enough, I don't think I putted or chipped as well as I did, the previous three events, but
Yeah.
I hit the ball so well, and it was really the first time that, obviously, as a golfer, you go through stretches of hitting. Um, you have some good a day or two here of really good ball striking where you don't miss a shot, but it felt like through 4 days I hardly missed a shot, and after that, it felt like that for a little while after, and I knew I'd certainly found something with just the way I was swinging now, and that definitely turned it around for me. I had gained a little more confidence from that, getting that win, and not only getting the win, but knowing in the back of my mind that my swing is better than it's ever been before, and
Yeah.
I definitely say that that was a turning point. Yeah.
The Australian Masters,
Hmm.
where you won. I was reading up on that final round, and it seemed like those conditions are
Yeah.
pretty conducive for some high scores. But at the same time, playing in Oklahoma, that seems like a normal Sunday for me. But
Sure.
not taking anything
Absolutely.
away from you, but
No.
just kind of take me through that final round, and especially that back nine
Yeah.
where you put it
So
away.
yeah. I first of all, I love the golf there in Australia. I mean, it's
Oh,
firm, fast conditions, and I think those are my favorite conditions. I think I play the best when there are firm and fast conditions. So I was super pumped just starting the week, and the course
mhm.
got firmer as the days went on, obviously, and it was kind of windy the first couple days, nothing crazy, maybe 10 to 15. The third day it got a little bit windier. I think 20, 25 gusts, and gusts a little bit higher. And then the final day, it was blowing really hard.
Yeah,
And obviously with the course being so firm and fast, there was no margin of error. And it's funny because the golf course is so short, but I mean, you put yourself in a bad spot. I mean, you're just trying to hit the green from 60, 70 yards sometimes. And
yeah,
um, but I love those kind of conditions. So I kind of told myself like, hey, I'm just out here, having a good time playing my favorite conditions ever. And obviously that didn't work out at the start. I actually started with the birdie the final round. It's a short par four. I think it's drivable with like a 4 iron.
mhm,
That's how firm and fast it was. And I birdied the first hole, and then I think I went. I don't remember exactly. I think I might have went 8 over in the next 6 holes.
yeah,
And it's funny because I really didn't feel like I played that bad. I just missed my spots by a little bit and put myself in positions where I wasn't even able to make bogeys. I was making doubles. So
mhm,
um, and the turning point in that round was hole 8. All week it had been downwind. It was like driver, 8 iron, 7 iron, par five, and it was straight into the wind that day. And I killed the drive into the wind, but had I think I had 4 iron in like 200 yards straight into the wind, and ended up
yeah,
hitting that to 8 feet mid eagle, and that turned it around because
mhm,
I was 8 over through 6, and I dropped back into a tie for the lead. I think because I started the day with a 5 shot lead, and um, you know the guys I were playing with were playing started pretty solid. They were a couple over, and that
yeah,
eagle kind of settled me down. And again, I knew that it was going to be really hard for the other guys to make birdies just because of the conditions. So
right,
um, I was able to. I think I played the rest of the round in 1 under. I birdied the next par five and had I think all pars till 17 where I birdied, and then I bogeyed 18. But I
yeah,
played really steady from there on out and just tried to play smart golf. I know it sounds a little cliche, but it's easier said than done. That's for sure.
right, absolutely. Was there a little bit of scoreboard watching, or were you putting the blinders on?
Yeah. At the start, especially when I was struggling there, I was like, all right, man, forget about the scoreboard. You have holes to go, and if you
Mhm,
play well, it'll take care of itself. But I'm a guy when it comes down the stretch, I definitely like to look at the leaderboard.
mhm,
Obviously, just to know where I'm at if I need to push or anything like that. But
right,
um, I figured if I was making pars on some of those tougher holes on the back nine, I'm gaining shots on my competitors. And um, I think 17T was when I found out I had a 5 shot lead. So before that, I had a general idea. I was looking at the scoreboards, but um, you never know because some of the holes are, there's a couple drivable par fours and some par
yeah,
fives. You never know when someone can throw up an eagle. So I wasn't sure how accurate it was.
mhm.
Um, so on 17, I knew I had a 5 shot lead.
that kind of calmed you down a little bit, or were you still pressing at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I still wanted to finish well. I didn't want
Yeah.
to, throw away any shots. And actually, 17 might have been the best hole I played all day, and made birdie there. But I was a little bit upset at myself. I hit the last hole of the tournament on 18. I hit the worst drive I hit all week. I hit it miles right, and I didn't end up finding the ball. So took a lost ball on 18. That's not pretty, but I
Yeah.
got up and down from a greenside bunker for bogey. So I mean, I got the job done. I can't be too
Yeah.
greedy.
What so far in your career, what's like the coolest golf moment where you've kind of stepped back and be like, holy crap, this is pretty damn cool.
Yeah. Um, I, in terms of awards, I'd have to say the Haskins that I just got.
Yeah.
That's still pretty surreal to me that I'm on the list with those guys that were in front of me, like Tiger and Phil, and it's just crazy to think that I'm even anywhere near them on that list. So I think in terms of just golf accomplishments, that's probably the top of the list right now. And then obviously the 2017, or at the time it was, it was the Genesis Invitational, or I guess
Yeah.
Genesis Open. That's probably the second coolest moment I ever had. Obviously, playing in front of a home crowd, 20 minutes away from Pepperdine, my first tour event, and then playing with Phil Mickelson on Sunday there. That's something I'm never going to forget, and
Yeah.
just the whole experience of that event. That's probably the coolest on golf experience that I've had.
Just what's next? What
Yeah,
does Sahith Theegala do from here?
yeah. So I'm actually going to Dallas in 3 days from now to play in the second edition of the Meriton Invitational.
Hmm.
So it's just for, I think a lot of people know already. It's kind of a charity event where um, it's a mix of pros and AMs and members that play. So I think there's some pretty big names there. So I'm pretty pumped to get there and get some competition under my belt. But I'll still be amateur for that, and then hopefully, um, well, the hope is that I get some exemptions on tour starts over
Hmm.
the summer. Um, if I could hopefully get as many as possible, especially with the Q schools being canceled, because
Yeah.
my initial plan was to do Canada Q school and go up there for the season. So obviously that got chopped, and then Corn
Hmm.
Ferry and European Tour School got chopped this year as well. So I'm kind of banking on hopefully getting some exemptions, um, and then doing Monday quals and mini tour stuff whenever I can, because I just want to stay sharp. So
Yeah.
but I do think I'll be able to hopefully play in a couple PGA Tour events. Would be really really cool to start off my pro career.